Well, I was dreaming just now, and well, there was a group of us, and another group further away. But we were in a long line. Imagine I was the furthest back, and there was, say, 4 or 5, 6, 7 of us. And we basically had guns trained on the similar sized group in the distance. And I had a sort of air gun rather than a military gun. And some actually I noticed were not holding guns at all. It was, can I say it, but a black train, toy train. But again, they were using it as if it were a gun, threatening from a distance. But some, I think, had guns for real. And it occurred to me, I didn't want to be a threat to part of this threat. Why am I in this? And then I'm not sure what transpired, but it was a very mixed dream. I was going to something like go to school or to work or to get on with the day. I was still sort of in that area, space, where we were using these threatening sort of guns. And I heard a high note, a singing voice, a female, very high. And I thought that sound is lovely. What is that? It was very faint at first. Behind me, further away than the group, the two groups I was talking about, that one I was in and one I could see further away. And as I listened intently to this beautiful sound, I heard the tune with it, like violins, but lovelier. Prelude to Act something or other in Lohengrin, the violins, a bit like that, only more so, and that was pretty lovely. More subtle, more ethereal. It was an incredibly transcendent experience. And scarcely graspable. And quite brief. Absolutely beautiful. And then I found, of course, I was awake here in bed, and it's 6:46 now in the morning, Monday morning. And I'll be taking my girl to school, my 12-year-old. But it's left for me the experience, the music. I call it music, but it was far more than that, and extremely subtle. like meeting a simply beautiful person. As I say, a transcendent experience. I haven't got the words to explain it, as you can see. But I was awake earlier and listening to recordings, and I was impressed with one or two of them. I thought that was good. That's what I want to say. I wonder if I could use that on Thursday at a philosophy meeting I'm going to. It was a recording on trust. But I feel so different now because of having been conscious of this experience in the dream. It's changed how I feel today. Before I had the dream and I'd just finished listening to the recordings, I wasn't sort of comfortable with the day and coming, and should I get up, but it's too early. It was about 5 o'clock or something then. And I thought, well, hopefully I'll just get another short sleep. I'd practiced rather a lot of the Kriya breaths. Different to usual, I was counting 7, into the count of 7, hold to the count of 7, breathe out to the count of 7. In the Kriya fashion of bottom of the lungs filled first to the top, hold, and then emptying the lungs top down to the bottom. Visualizing such as, well, to some extent, but mainly just doing the breathing. Probably fractionally less than 3 breaths a minute. So quite short breaths for me, not the count of 10 or even 12, of course. And I must have done about 100 breaths, say 90. Over a sort of 40-minute period or something. Something of that order. Yeah. I see my alarms going off. 10 minutes to 7. Make sure I leave on time at about 7:30. Yeah. But a transcendent experience. Didn't expect that. Absolutely beautiful. Not of this world, just feels not of this world at all. Beautiful. And something I can't quite get hold of, so to speak. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. It occurs to me the nearest I can convey to you the tune or the sound was like a song we've sung in worship. Because you're with me, I will not fail or fall. It's a very simple tune, but quite graceful if you're singing it in worship, in devotion. Because you're with me, because you're with me, because you're with me, I shall not fail. And there are other lines that are devotional too. But it had something of that order. And of course I'm thinking now of an angelic order too, as the only way I can explain it. Absolutely lovely, fairly brief experience. As I say, when I awoke from it this morning, just, a few minutes ago now, I just felt different to how I'd felt when I was awake earlier, before I fell asleep again. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. You see, I can only put it in words of saying something like it's a consciousness of God, a consciousness of His ethereal beauty and loveliness. Don't know how else to say it, and it doesn't touch it really, but it's meant to. Yeah. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. Another line of that song is, I will exalt thee, I will exalt thee, I will exalt thee, you are my God. Because if you're singing that many times in a worship group of people who are similarly orientated to worship, it's incredibly lifting. It's a transcendent experience in itself. Yes. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. Yes, you see, I was feeling a bit flat earlier in the morning, around 5 o'clock, because I'd listened to the recordings and they were good. I was happy with some that I was reviewing. And, when I feel flat like that, it sometimes, I'm glad to say, occurs to me, I'll thank you. I just say thank you, Heavenly Dad, I feel flat, but I'm trusting you for it. I'll just thank you for feeling flat. And obviously I fell asleep. And then I was given this experience. How unspeakably lovely. And now I'm flying again. I'm very short of time. I've got to go and pick up my daughter and her friend, take them to school. Thank you, Dad.